In this lesson, we'll learn about Maya's nonlinear flare deformer. The flare deformer will do exactly what it says. It's going to flare or stretch out the object we apply it to. Let's go ahead and select our chair and head over to Create Deformers, Nonlinear, and we'll find Flare right underneath Bend. We'll go ahead and take a look at the options. So we have our low and high bound values to adjust how much flare will be added on the higher part and lower part, or the higher and lower extent of the flare deformer. Next we have our start and end X and Z parameters. So this is going to create a flare in the X and Z axes. And then underneath curvature, well, here's where we can really exaggerate our flare by adding more curvature to the overall mesh that has the flare applied. So let's say we go ahead and choose Create. Go ahead and head over to our channel box and scroll down until we find the flare node under Inputs. And you could also access this by selecting the object the flare has been applied to. So we can start to use our Start Flare X-axis, and that's going to control the deformations around the end of the chair. So if we were to use our End Flare X, that's going to control the flare in the X-axis on the opposite side. And the same thing goes for the Z parameters. Now we can use curvature to really explode the geometry or implode the mesh. So it creates this vacuum type of effect as we decrease this. Or we can expand the chair by increasing our curve field. Now let's say if we didn't want too much flare at the lower part of the chair, and yes, that rhymed, we can go ahead and take our low bound and start to adjust that. And now we'll start to remove some of that flare. So the high bound is going to basically do the same thing but on the other half. So this is a really neat deformer to work with. You can get some really cartoony or exaggerated effects using it. So in this lesson, we learned how to work with the flare deformer in Maya.